Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Team Break Tuesday. Today we'll be doing some case breaks as usual on a Tuesday night. And it looks like we're going to be doing some Platinum Anniversary and also some... Hopefully we can get some Chrome going because I've yet to find a Taco Fractor and I'd really like to find one of these days. And I feel like today is the best day for it because I actually had tacos today. So we'll see if that happens. We also have a Bowman mixer round that we'll do as well. So let me go ahead and get set up here as people join the live stream. I forgot to pin a comment. So to buy into this break, typing this up right now, please join our Patreon right here at https www.patreon.com/join/1864938. And here are channel memberships. I always try to do that ahead of time, but I just forgot to today. But there it is. It's pinned up now if you'd like to grab a spot. So tonight's break is going to carry over into tomorrow a little bit as well because I did not get my pristine cases. When I ordered them, I was told they would be here on Monday, which would be yesterday, and they didn't come, so I was like, oh, all right, now I'll just get them Tuesday. No problem, but looks like I'm not going to get them now until tomorrow, so the pristine break, which is break P, will be coming up tomorrow. We'll do a kind of a rollover into Wednesday, a wrap-up Wednesday, and also the good thing about that is I'll be able to get you some Cosmic Chrome. I have some Cosmic Chrome coming as well. So we'll get that going. Also, I saw some payments come in that I just put in there from Tim Gruwell, Drew Baker, Deep South Artifacts, and Ron Roberts. You're all on the lists right now. So let's go through and show you what we have available, and then we'll go ahead and get this show on the road here. I think we'll probably start out with some... Well, I think maybe we'll start out with some Platinum Anniversary tonight, but here's what we have left. Probably do a few rounds tonight, and then we'll do the rest tomorrow. And let's see here. All right, to zoom out. So here is the master list. Break A has plenty of spots left. That's the Super Chrome mixer. Break B has 14 spots left. Daniel Roberts says, I'm in Central Florida. Dead calm here. Yes, stay safe, everybody down there, down south Florida. And Georgia and the Carolinas. You got the hurricane bearing down on you guys. The Bowman Mixer round is sold out, so we'll be doing that one. The Super Mixers have plenty of spots available. D and E. Break F, G, and H all have spots. J4 has spots. K has plenty of spots. L3, M10 has spots. P, R5, and R6. So here's what we have left. I guess I'll do spots available. And again, a lot of these will probably be kicked down the road to tomorrow. So P, which will be on Wednesday, actually, because the cases are not coming until tomorrow, has 10 spots left. Then after that, the next closest to going is Break B, which has 14 spots left. Break M10, which is the Jumbo Chrome round, has 18 spots left. And then the 2018 update break featuring Showtime, Shohei Ohtani, who's still playing, by the way. He tore his UCL, but that's not going to stop him. That has 20 spots left. And we'll put one more up there. Let's go K10 would be nice to do, to open some more Chrome, 24 spots. So if you'd like to grab any spots in any of those are the next closest to go. And we're definitely going to start things off with, we'll start off with R5 and do some Platinum Anniversary to get ready for the big Matt Seidman consignment auction that's coming in. I think it's due this week. I think he's sending it this week, so that might be coming up in just a couple days. He opened cases and cases upon cases of Chrome Platinum Anniversary, and he sent all the hits, all the autographs, all the numbered cards. So if you love autographs, stuff like that, you will be happy to see that. Pack Wars says, I paid for R5, but it sold out. Can you move me to another spot? I actually added another round, R6. So I could just put you in there. If you just paid for it right now, I'll put you in that one. Let me go ahead and check real quick, and then we'll run the randomizer. I don't see you, Pack Wars. There it is. Platinum Anniversary. We will put you in R6. 6. Put you in there right now. Same exact one. All right, so let's randomize these spots. Random.org is what we use. Go over here and bring this. Lots of players on waivers today, says White Sox Tom. Yeah, how about Josh Donaldson getting released? So I bet Yankees fans are dancing in the streets about that with his 142 batting average. You won't have to look at that on the scoreboard any longer, which is probably pretty awesome for all of you in New York. All right, so here's all the names in R5. We'll start off with this one. We will mix them up, and then we'll open 10 boxes of Platinum Anniversary to get this show on the road here. And then after that, we'll do some Bowman. And then the Pristine and Cosmic Chrome will be tomorrow. So here's all the names. Ron Roberts has the leadoff spot there. He has the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then we have Jeffrey Smith with the Atlanta Braves. Eric has the Baltimore Orioles. Jeffrey with the Boston Red Sox. Ronald's got the Cubs. Jack Holland with the Reds. Nick has the Cleveland Guardians. David Robbins just grabbed a spot in Break B. Thanks, David. I'll get you put in there. So Nick with the Cleveland Guardians. Matthew Dorler with the Colorado Rockies. Michael McCann with the White Sox. Matt Simon with the Detroit Tigers. Justin Williams with the Houston Astros. Kevin Newman has Kansas City. Matt has the Angels. Craig Davidson with the Dodgers. Jonathan Roberts has the Miami Marlins. Ron with the Milwaukee Brewers. Nathan Smith with the Minnesota Twins. Ron Roberts also has the Mets. George Wynant with the Yankees. Keith has the Oakland A's. Eric Groff has the Phillies. Jeffrey Smith will have the Pirates. Brett Marsa with the San Diego Padres. Eric Franco gets the Seattle Mariners. George with the San Francisco Giants. Dan Schultz will have the St. Louis Cardinals. Daniel has the Tampa Bay Rays. Then we got John Bonsick with the Texas Rangers. Justin went with Toronto, and Michael McCann with the Washington Nationals. So we have some Platinum Anniversary to start things off. I'm always a little nervous when we open these boxes because you never know if it's going to be a terribly collated box or if it's going to be a nice box. I don't know what this case is going to hold. The terribly collated boxes, all the cards are flipped every which way. Mets fan says that they're out at the MLB store in New York City. There's still a ton of Chrome boxes out there. That's, how much are they? $40, $45. Rich says, how are your kids and yourself? Sorry about your car. Luckily, we weren't in the car. The car got just smashed to smithereens in the parking lot. It was literally just sitting there. We were in the fair, having fun playing games, came out and the entire side of my car was completely smashed in. Probably from some inebriated idiot that went to park, and instead of hitting the brake, they slammed on the gas and jacked up my car pretty good. But anyway, I'm looking around for a box cutter to get this show on the road, and I don't have one, of course. I took it downstairs to do the Pristine. My favorite box cutter is that silver box cutter. It's like, I don't know, it's, you know how you like, when you play baseball, you have like a favorite bat to hit with? It's my favorite box cutter, so I took it downstairs. Let me go grab that, and then I'll be right back, and we'll start ripping open some Platinum Anniversary. All right, here we go. There's going to be one autograph per box. Also, usually about 6 numbered cards per box. And by the way, this is my favorite box cutter. I don't know why, but it is. Maybe because it's got like, I don't know, kind of bulky. Sometimes some box cutters feel cheap, lightweight. All right, here we go. Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary box. No, oh man. Looks like these might be switched all over the place. At least that Deion Sanders card facing me gave me some bad vibes. It just makes the cards not easy to shuffle through when you have to keep flipping them all over again, so I might put a frowny face on this case, put it out in the hallway, and grab another case. And then I'll just, no offense, but I'll just give these packs away in our auctions. It's not like the packs are bad. It's just they're not, when you're breaking a whole bunch of cards and half of them are flipped upside down, it's just kind of weird. You got Al Lopez leading things off. Got AJ Alexi there as well. There's Michael Chavis. There's a creased card right there. That's always great. Stephen Riding's creased card right out of a pack. Gotta love it when there's scratch cards and creased cards. Oh man, good old quality control. This would have been a great card just a couple weeks ago, but now it's not going to be worth much at all in lieu of what Wander Franco is facing. That's out of 250 for the Tampa Bay Rays. Bobby Witt's rookie card. Stan the Man Musial. We don't really have any more information, by the way, about Wander Franco. It's an ongoing investigation. There's Max Kranick, team color match. Another yellow Ray Wave to 250 to join the Wander. Got Johnny Damon, Satchel Paige, Jacob Stallings, refractor there. And we've got Helio Ramos right there. I just saw Randy Rosarena, and I remember back to earlier this year when Wander Franco and... Oh, I see, it looks like someone sent me a text. I think that's Matt. Says, if you want to do break B tonight, and then I missed it. Matt sent a text, but I missed it. But anyway, Wander Franco and Randy Rosarena got into a fight, I guess. And I think Wander Franco was benched for being a bad teammate. So maybe he's had makeup issues all along. And, you know, just nobody really recognized. I mean, how are you gonna predict something like that, I guess? I don't know. But just got to wait until it all plays out and see what happens. All right, here we go. Brian Miller. That's another yellow Ray Wave out of 250, so 3 yellows. Josiah says, can I move from R6 to P since I missed R5? Yeah, there's whatever the difference is. I don't know if it's a couple extra bucks. You can just send that over, and I'll add you in there. Just put that in the notes section. There's the auto, Brandon Marsh. That is an orange out of 25 autograph right there. And that one's going to go to the Angels' Matt Seidman with the first hit. We got Reese Hoskins out of 50. And we'll see what else we have coming up in this box. These boxes with these cards flipped everywhere. They take like 10 minutes to go through. Whereas if they're just facing all the same direction, it takes about half that much. There's Starling Marte, who just can't escape any flack from Mets fans. He's on the injured list, and he was, I guess, celebrating the engagement to his I guess he just got engaged. What is this? What? Ted Simmons autograph too? A 2 autograph box. How about that? Ted Simmons for the Cardinals. Dan Schultz. That was unexpected. So maybe some of these boxes, they put you through the ringer by making you flip all the cards every which way and, you know, just slowly annoy you to death by doing that. But they're like, well, for all that pain and misery we put you through, flipping the cards over and over again, we'll give you an extra autograph. So I'll take that. Dan Schultz will take that. Congratulations, Dan. Let's go ahead and grab what I would call a happy box of Platinum Anniversary, whether they're going all the same way. I'm going to try a different case. Get another case here and see if this one's any good. I've got a couple extra cases of these that we have not yet broken through. Let's try this one out. This would be box number 2 of this round. It's going to be 10 boxes in this round, and then we'll get into that mixer of Bowman. We haven't done Bowman in a little while. By the way, Bowman Chrome will be coming out soon. There's some new releases on the horizon for those of you that like the new releases, like myself. It's almost like, not quite like Christmas, but new release day is kind of just a little bit like Christmas. Get to see something new. It's like you're opening your new present there, new design, new players to chase after. 2023 Bowman Chrome is coming out in 2 weeks, I believe. I think it's on, is that the 13th? Also, Allen and Ginter is right around the corner. Topps Pristine's pretty fun. Garrett says Bowman Chrome is a must. I will agree with you there. It's a good one. And who would have thought Cosmic Chrome was going to be so nice last year? Cosmic Chrome, like, doubled in price, I feel like. When it first came out, I was like, what is this crap? It's like It's basically like it's like Topps Fire Chrome. It's reminded me of that, but it actually ended up being pretty decent. David says, Bowman Chrome releases on September 13th, which is my birthday. That's a pretty nice birthday present right there. You'll have to get yourself a box. I don't know what they're going to be going for. Maybe $300. Aren't they usually around $300 for a master box? Maybe $350 for an HTA or something like that. But Cosmic Chrome last year like doubled in price, and I was like, man, I wish I would have bought more cases of that. But probably nothing exploded in price last year more than Gilded Collection. That's out of 100. Rievers San Martin. The Gilded Collection release was pretty nutty. You got Peyton Henry out of 199. Grant Jones says, did I make it in the pristine break? Why can't? You did. You did in the box break, right? At least I remember opening a box for you. Did you watch tonight's video? There's Bryce Harper. Brady autos are going to be the insane chase. So we got Brady autos in Cosmic Chrome. Is that so? I didn't even realize that. I haven't even checked really anything out about it. I usually wait until like a day or two, or sometimes even the day of, to do research on the product on a new release. So Mike Bauman, I know there's going to be first Bowmans of retired players in there and former greats like Roberto Clemente will have a first Bowman Chrome card in there. Bowman Draft, says White Sox Tom. Okay, so I guess I better, better clear the balance on the credit card to buy those cases. Those are going to be pretty expensive, as everybody loves Tom Brady. I wonder why they don't put Michael Jordan stuff in baseball. I mean, Tom Brady was drafted by the Montreal Expos back in, 2000 or something like that? Garrett says, the retired first Bowman idea is horrible. It's weird. I think they're just trying to find something new to get everybody all excited. But Michael Jordan played baseball for the White Sox in 1994. He was literally in their organization, played Double-A for the Birmingham Barons. I don't know why they don't give him more. So White Sox Tom says he's an Upper Deck only. All right, so I didn't know that he had an exclusive deal with them. I wonder when that runs out, because that's one I could see. That's one that Fanatics would love to get their hands on. I wonder how long that goes. There's Tony Gwynn. Remember Mickey Mantle's estate? That's out of 25. Had an exclusive contract with Panini. Topps got a hold of it eventually, and they made the Mickey Mantle boxes in, 2021 or 2022. There is Bo Jackson out of 199. This is box number 2, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, box number 2. I don't want to short you a box. Lifetime contract with Upper Deck. Wow. I wonder what... An Upper Deck doesn't... that's out of $299. What do they make besides hockey cards right now? So I'm trying to think what Upper Deck makes. I don't really look at anything except for baseball cards, so I don't know if they might make the Metal Universe cards or not. They probably do, because they have Michael Jordan's image in there. So that was box number 2. We got a Hall of Fame autograph already. Let's count out the rest of these boxes. 3, 4, 5. Get them all lined up here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ryan says, sign that contract way too young, obviously. Hey, you never know. It was probably millions of dollars. And now, I mean, who knows what he would have commanded nowadays, the way the sports card industry has kind of exploded here. He would have got a large number for sure. Maybe $100 million or more. Goodwin champs. Michael Jordan's in that. Got a few payments that have come through. Let me go ahead and put these down. David Robbins grabbed one in break B, so I want to get that one in there. David Robbins, all right, you're penciled in. Josiah Ewing is, actually Troy Fowler was after that with 2 in break B. And then we've got Josiah Ewing moving from R6 into break P, which will go tomorrow night. Pristine. And Michael Palumbo's grabbed one in break P as well. Thank you very much. I think I'm all caught up to date. I'll try to keep up to date as these payments come in. Travis says, hashtag Orioles win again. That's nice. Orioles doing pretty well. I didn't check if the Pirates won tonight. Saw they won last night. Zach Greinke has fallen to 1-13. So Zach Greinke, who I believe that he was a Hall of Famer. I still believe he probably will be a Hall of Famer. Probably not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he's going to get in. But man, what a rough season for Zach Greinke, and what is likely his last season. 1-13 record. Unfortunately for him, he's playing for like the second worst team in baseball. So that doesn't help him all that much. Team that barely ever wins. But as you know, the win statistic is kind of outdated. It doesn't really carry a lot of weight anymore, as most baseball fans, serious baseball fans, will look more at other metrics to determine how good a pitcher is. Mr. Steely says, Bucks are up 2-1 in the 8th. Thanks for the update. Dante, how's it going, man? Hey, when's the Uniontown card show? Isn't that coming up soon? I think that's supposed to be coming up. There's 2 card shows this weekend, but with my car accident, I didn't feel like driving around with my mirror just flapping in the wind. There's Gary Carter, so I didn't get to go to any card shows. I was originally planning on potentially going to Robinson, and maybe there's also a card show in West Virginia, in Morgantown. There's Connor Wong. Boston Red Sox get a hit right there. That one's going to go to Jeffrey Smith, September 8th to 9th. All right, you going to be there? K. Burt Ruiz is the next hit out of 100. Looks like Ohio Arrowheads with a $10 super chat. Says, I pulled a Wander auto out of 50 yesterday. Pain. Yeah, if only you would have pulled that autograph like 2 or 3 weeks ago and then flipped it and just sold it quickly. The Wander market is down. It's continuing to fall, and who knows where the bottom is going to be. Hey, he might be in Kyle Lewis territory. Kyle Lewis didn't do anything against the law, but his cards are just worthless because everybody ran out and had his cards graded because he won the American League Rookie of the Year, and then that was about it. He pretty much just disappeared and just not a good player. Just barely any at-bats in the big leagues this year with the Diamondbacks, I think. Got injured a lot, and there's like just a ton of his cards out there, all graded at PSA 9s and 10s, and there's no demand for them, so extremely high supply, almost zero demand makes the cards essentially worthless. Dante says, I'll have 3 tables at Uniontown, which would be September 8th through the 9th, so what's that, like 2 weekends away? And then you'll have 3 at the Crown Center. Man, that's a good one. Crown Center on October 14th. I'm not missing that one. That's a 300-card tables show. What happened to Kevin Maiton? He was with the Braves, and then they were forced to release him after the whole international signing scandal. There's Bryce Harper. Didn't John Sherholtz get banned for life and then eventually reinstated? And I think he went eventually into the Angels system, and then he just kind of disappeared. NSS says, Kyle Lewis, PSA 10 rookie. His pop count is 15,000. That's crazy. Isn't like Ronald Acuna Jr.'s rookie like 22,000? That is an insane amount. Stan the Man Musial out of 100. Everybody sent their Kyle Lewis rookie cards in to be graded during the pandemic. They're like, oh, what should I do? I'm bored. I know. I was sending all my Kyle Lewis cards and pay, what was it back then? Was it still $20 a piece to have them graded? Now those cards, you can honestly probably find those cards for $1 or $2 on eBay. If you got a recently sold Kyle Lewis PSA 10, a couple bucks. PSA 9, maybe a 99-cent card. Junk slab era. You guys called it. Yep, there was a lot of people that called the junk slab era when it was going on back in 2020. And that's what happened with a lot of those 2020 rookies. You see other guys that kind of got junk slabbed up too, like Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux might actually have a shot of being a decent player still. He's injured right now. But he's got a whole bunch of graded stuff out there. Another one of the, just a name that's going to make people cringe is Aristides Aquino. I guess, you know what, every year or two there's players like that are big names that just never come through. You can think back to when you were a kid and collecting. I'm sure you can come up with names no matter what era you collected in. For example, my heyday was 1989, 1990. That's when I was getting into cards big time, and it was Jerome Walton and Greg Jeffries and Todd Zeal and Kevin Moss. Where are all those guys right now? You just go down the line. 1992 is Brian Taylor and Phil Plantier. You can keep on going. Like 93 was like Carlos Delgado. Oh, no, not Delgado. David Need. And who was the other guy? Oh, what was his name? Nigel Wilson is who I'm thinking of. Remember Nigel Wilson? I just remember people thinking, yeah, I got a Nigel Wilson rookie card in my pack, and just thinking that they were the absolute stuff. Like, this is going to just, I'm set. I got my Nigel Wilson Marlins rookie card here. First pick by the Marlins in the draft. Whatever happened to that guy? There's Brendan Rodgers out of 75, and you just keep on going. Like 94, you got like Ben Grieve. Todd Van Poppel was like 90, 91 too. There's so many. Just prospects that are can't miss that end up missing big time. Mo Vaughn, he's a nobody, says Keith. I want to say Mo Vaughn was a nobody. Didn't he win the 95 MVP award? Billy Ashley was one for sure. That guy was great in the minors, but never could put it together in the big leagues. That's out of 99 on the Adolis Garcia. A lot of people thought Billy Ashley was going to continue the trend of Dodgers rookies winning the Rookie of the Year. Every year throughout the 90s, it seemed like the Dodgers were winning the Rookie of the Year with Eric Karros and Todd Hollandsworth and Raul Mondesi and Hideo Nomo and all those guys. Probably missing somebody else in there. Mike Piazza. Yeah, good old Ben McDonald. I remember Ben McDonald 1990 Topps. I was all about that card. I thought that card was awesome. And if you had the Ben McDonald 1990 Upper Deck Era card with the Orioles logo on it instead of the Star Rookie Auto, like, you were set for life. Garrett says, oh man, freaking Mo Vaughn went to the Angels, tripped on some grass, and we never saw him again. Now, Greg Jeffries is a great one too, Pack. Remember just an absolute craze about Greg Jeffries in like late 88, 89. I think he was actually on the cover or the side. I think he was on the side of the 89 Topps box. Future star card. Sean Green was a big one, 92. Sean Green had some good seasons, though. I can't say too much bad about Sean Green. He had some big home run seasons in there, but he never became a Hall of Famer. There's Scott Rowland. That one will be numbered out of 50. The Viking says, I lost some money on JT Snow. I think that, yeah, my brother and I used to think JT Snow was so cool just because of his name. And I think my brother used to love some rapper called, like, 12 Feet of Snow or something like that. Some rapper named Snow. My brother was super into him, and then JT Snow comes along. It was just like a match, made in heaven there. There's John Heasley. But I always thought JT Snow was real cool, too, just because of his name, I guess. There's Nick Plummer, 11 out of 299. The man, the myth, the legend says, is P sold out? Are there any spots? I'll take a look at that and see. Terry says, how about Mark Grace? Mark Grace was a big name prospect, too. That was about a year before I got in the cards. Mark Grace came around like 88 with the buzz about him, rated rookie 88 Donruss. I didn't get into cards until the following year in 89. There's Evan Longoria out of 100. That'd be fun to go back and look through your old Beckett's and look at all the top 10 players in each set. You have guys like Sandy Alomar Jr. in there that was big money. Ramon Martinez, big money. Remember the pitcher? And actually it would be his brother, Pedro Martinez, that would be the best. Yeah, Mark Grace was a darn fine player. Yep. Isn't that crazy? Like, you could be a big hype prospect. You can have a great career, like a nice long career, play 12, 15 years, have some all-star appearances, and then just your cards are still worth nothing. LP says, still haven't seen my cards from the July 17th. I've got them. What happened there is she had me put Luke on it, so when I typed in Luke, nothing came up. So I just put it off to the side, and I was like, I'll get back to that later. But I've got them. I'll get them sent out to you tomorrow or the next day, but they're on the sleeving table. They did not get lost in transit. They're still here. It's just, that's why I don't know why. I broke my own rule there. I always make sure I put the real name on there on the PayPal account. Otherwise, I can't find it. But yeah, we got your cards. Hey, next time you buy something in a break or something, or actually probably an auction would be best because I will definitely remember that to do that. But I'll put something extra in there for you for the delay. The Viking says Mark Grace was very reliable. He was. And wasn't his wife a reality star? There was some show about wives of famous athletes, and I feel like Mark Grace's wife was on there. I don't know if she was a big Karen or not. I can't remember because I feel like I just wasn't into it. But I feel like she may have been on the show. Ron Roberts has sent over a couple spots for break B. So we'll get Ron Roberts put in there right now for break B. And I'll update that list here after this stack because we got about halfway through. Tony used to watch Mark Grace on WGN a bunch. He was a favorite back then. WGN, that's right. You used to be able to watch Cubs games. You could watch, hey, look at that. Steve Garvey out of 5. Very nice. Very, very nice. Used to watch on TBS whenever we'd go to my grandparents. The Braves. Hey, Ozzie Smith Hall of Fame autograph alert. Look at that. And Ozzie Smith for the Cardinals. Very nice. That one is numbered out of 99. So the Cardinals had the first Hall of Fame autograph, and now they get another one here. They had the Ted Simmons in box 1, and now here, Dan Schultz picks up another one on the ledger. It's an Ozzie Smith Hall of Fame auto. Tony Gwynn is numbered out of 99. It's the Green Wave auto there. By the way, I love the boxes with the cards going the same way. Everything goes the same way except for the parallels. There's Zach Greinke. We talked about him a little bit earlier with his 1-13 record, 1 win and 13 losses. White Sox Tom says, did you see the fans attacked Ronald Acuna? I heard they got to him, but nothing happened. I didn't see the replay. I was just, I heard the report on the radio today driving in, and I was like, wow, that sounds bad. I think I want to watch that replay. And then I just, you get to school, and then you just automatically get super busy and you forget. They tried to hug him. Like, why? So now they're going to be trespassed for life. They will never be allowed to set foot in Coors Field again. They'll probably be charged with criminal trespass. And who knows what else. They'll probably face a hefty fine as well and probably spend a day or two in jail. That's... yeah, so stupid. I don't know why people think they can do that. Sometimes when they go in the field, they get absolutely blown up. Like, remember that guy? I can't remember where it was at, but it was maybe a few months ago. He got on the field, ran on the field, and then he, kneeled down to propose to his girlfriend, and he just got steamrolled by security, blown up. He's just kneeling down there, and he got absolutely mauled. I think that needs to happen more often because then that sets an example. I don't want to get crushed tonight. It's out of 199 on the Lee Smith. Todd says just bought him for L3. Thank you very much. We'll get you added. If it goes tonight, we'll do it tonight. If not, hopefully we can pick up some spots to do it tomorrow. There's Torrey Hunter out of 299. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, if you wanted to get close to Ronald Acuna Jr., there's other ways you could go about it. You could go to batting practice and stand right above the dugout, and you could be feet from him, maybe even get a high five along the sideline. There's a 70 out of 99. Some people will go and stand outside near the team bus and just watch him get on the bus. Some people even know where they stay in their hotels, and I'm sure that the players just love that. They walk into their hotel lobby, and there's fans there with little binders of baseball cards asking them to sign it. I mean, they're probably just like, man, can I just get a break? I know that in Pittsburgh there's crews like that. Probably every stadium has a crew of autograph hounds. We used to call them autograph hounds. I don't know if that's like a derogatory term that they hate or not, but there's probably a contingency of them in every ballpark that kind of know where to go to get the autographs and are successful in doing so. And then a lot of those guys, they sell them. They'll get them on cards and they just sell them off. The in-person autographs, I don't know. I don't think they'd be worth all that much. I mean, I guess if you can get it on some nice piece of memorabilia like a helmet or a bat or a ball, and then you can get it authenticated by JSA as a legit signature, then there's some value there. But anyway, here's what we have left before I get into the last 5 boxes. For break P, which is coming tomorrow, there's 7 spots left in that one. For break B, which we might do that tonight, it's 20 blaster boxes of Bowman. That one's now down to what looks to be 10. Let me check it out. I'm counting these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 10 spots left there. So that one has fallen a bit. Living Bass says, what's the best team to get for team break in your opinion? Hope you do well, or hope you have been well, Jebs. Thanks, Living Bass. I appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well also. Well, if in my opinion, teams with good rookies are always a good one to get. So I would say, for example, in 2023 products, the Arizona Diamondbacks are nice. If you get Bowman, you got Drew Jones, Corbin Carroll opportunities, Corbin Carroll in general opportunities, getting his rookies, his parallel rookies, his autographs. So the Diamondbacks are a good one. I also think the Orioles are a great one. The Orioles might be one of the better ones to have because you got not only Adley Rutschman, but you also have Gunnar Henderson. And then you also, you can go back and every now and then you'll find Hall of Fame autos like Cal Ripken Jr., Eddie Murray, Jim Palmer. So the Orioles, I think, are a great one to have as well. Let's check the list of other teams that I think are pretty solid to have. Anytime there's a good rookie, Anthony Volpe, even though he hasn't had the greatest season, he's a nice one. So the Yankees are always a pretty good one to have. The Braves are good because of Michael Harris. St. Louis is doing well tonight with their Hall of Famers, and Jordan Walker is nice as well. And then anytime you have big-time major stars like Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, so Angels are always a decent one to have. Joe says, hope all's well. What will be shipped out on the 300 Patreon tier for August? I haven't put those together yet because I've been so busy. I'm planning on doing it tomorrow, I think, when I get home from school. I'm going to probably grab a hobby box of something. Maybe I'll give you the choice. Maybe I'll make the default box a Prism hobby box, but if you don't want that, you can switch over to a jumbo box of Topps. Maybe a Series 1 jumbo or a Series 2 jumbo or something like that. I'm looking at my inventory here to see what I have. Probably something like that. And then I'll get you your 2 blasters, which will be probably Chrome and Bowman. There is Torrey Hunter, numbered to 25. Sportsman Jack says, I wouldn't consider a Trout a star anymore. Man, I will take all of your Trout cards. If you don't want those, I can send them my way. Trout, he's a Hall of Famer already. How can you say he's not a star? He's definitely been banged up. There's Gene Segura, number out of 25. But he's still, if you look at his stats, injury-wise, yeah, he was injured, but his stats still aren't that bad. Now, his OPS is the worst of his career. It's in the 800s, which is still really good. That's out of 199. Bryson Stott. He's not at the same level as he was in previous years, but he's still extremely good, and his cards are still worth a ton of money. So I could see how maybe if you have a Trout rookie card and you're afraid of the decline, you might unload that now, because in general you might think, okay, the market is still trending downwards. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, but it's still dropping. And with Mike Trout's injury, if he continues to be banged up and then if he's not producing, his cards are probably going to drop more. I could see that, but he's still, I think, extremely valuable. In terms of active players, I'm trying to think of an autograph that I would want more than Mike Trout's. Like if you laid out just, you can say any red ink auto out of 5 or out of 25 of any current active player, you get to pick it. How would you rank them? I'll give you any 5 players, for example. I cannot believe that Mike Trout would not be on your list. Shohei Ohtani, probably number 1. For most people, a ton of value there. Some of you may put Ellie De La Cruz on there because he's super hot right now. Some of you may put Adley Rutschman on there. But I feel like Trout would be probably a number 2 or number 3 on most people's lists. Some people would have Judge on there. There's 40 out of 50. Some people would have Ronald Acuna Jr. on there. But Trout would be, I feel like, in everybody's top 5. Mookie Betts would be a good one as well. There's the autograph. It's Ronzi Contreras for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That one's going to go to Jeffrey Smith. Yeah, there's some great names that you guys were throwing out there, like Miguel Cabrera and Mookie Betts, but Trout's still worth more. His autograph is worth more than them. 5 out of 250, Greg Maddux. on the numbered card. We have David Cohn, numbered to 100 on the red. And there's 4 boxes left. Then we'll get into the Bowman break. And we'll see if we push it along. Again, Pristine is close enough to break tonight, but I don't have it. We'll be doing that tomorrow along with Cosmic Chrome. So keep an eye on Patreon tomorrow morning. It'll be too late tonight. I literally plan on going straight to bed after this. What time is it now? 10:30. So I'll go straight to bed after this, and I just feel like, you know, anytime school starts, I don't know what it is, but it's probably just getting up super early again. I always feel super drained the first couple weeks back to school, like just really tired. Rafael Devers is a good one. Juan Soto would be a good pick. But, I mean, if you would do comps on any of those guys, J-Rod would be a great pick. Mike Trout would be right up there at the top of those lists. I'd say probably Ohtani is still ahead of him. Josiah says, the hype on Trout cards was that he could be the greatest player to ever live. That's not going to happen anymore, numbers-wise, but he still will always be good. Just not Jordan of baseball. Valuable, like we thought. Hey, everybody thought Ken Griffey Jr. would be the greatest player that ever lived. Remember how great Ken Griffey Jr.'s career was going up until like 2000, 2001 when he went to the Reds? Didn't look like he was going to hit 800 home runs and be the all-time home run king and just win 7 MVPs and all that great stuff. But injuries happen to him just like are happening to Trout. And, man, people still love Ken Griffey Jr. His cards are still super valuable. So I think Griffey and Trout are kind of similar in that regard now, 47 out of 50. Just had an absolute fantastic first 10 years of their career or so, and now they're starting to have injury concerns. There's a 114 out of 150. Clayton Kershaw is nuts. He just, his whole career he's been great. He's had a couple hiccups here and there, but even a bad Kershaw season is a fantastic season for anybody else. His career earned run average is crazy. What's it, like 240 something for a career earned run average? The leading pitcher in all of baseball right now for earned run average is 260. It's Blake Snell. That's the best pitcher in all of baseball. Clayton Kershaw's career earned run average is 248, which is better for his entire career than the best pitcher right now. It's mind-blowing. A 248 ERA for an entire career. Even in his worst ever season, I'm looking at it right now, was a 3.55 ERA, which is pretty freaking good for most pitchers. I don't know how he does it. He doesn't run it up there at 95 anymore. David said he throws like 40, and it still makes hitters look bad. Hey, if you can change speeds and hit your spots, just ask Greg Maddux. I wonder if Clayton Kershaw and Greg Maddux talk, or if Kershaw is kind of a student of watching how Maddux would work. Because Greg Maddux, remember, he could throw like 89, 90. That was about it. But he could put the ball wherever he wanted it. He could move it a little bit. Justin Verlander's a Hall of Famer for sure. I'll agree with that right there, sportsman. Verlander has a shot at 300 wins. It's probably going to take him another 2.5 years to get there, though. Unfortunately for Verlander, he played for a really crappy team and then had an injury. So maybe he'll get back on track a little bit. He needed to average, coming into this season, Justin Verlander needed to average 18 wins a year to get 300. Currently, he's at 10. You figure he might pick up a couple more. Probably going to need 2 full years plus another year to get there. So he's currently 40. You know what? He could get 300 wins. If he pitches to 45, yeah, he'll get to 300 wins, and he might be the last one. 120 out of 150, at least the last one in our lifetime. The game goes through phases, and it changes. Right now, starting pitchers, they don't pitch all that much anymore. There's a 137 out of 199. Back when we were growing up, if you're my age, pitchers would pitch. They would pitch 7 innings a game, sometimes 8. Some of you guys grew up in like the 60s or so. Yeah, half the time they'd throw a complete game, 27 out of 100, Phil Rizzuto. But nowadays, if they can get you through 5 innings, the game is so compartmentalized, specialized with matchups and all that stuff. They get into the bullpens right after the 5th inning, most times 2 out of 100 on the Jesse Winker. So a lot of wins are lost because the pitcher pitches well and his team has the lead, and then your bullpen guy might give up the lead, and then you're no longer eligible for the win. Once the game's tied up and you're out of the game, you can't get the win anymore. It's just the way the rules are if you're the starting pitcher. Seaball says we also have that. We used to have 4-man rotations back then. Yeah, those guys back then would pitch 300 innings a year. And also, they really didn't ever have Tommy John surgery wasn't a thing back then, but they didn't really blow out all that often. Like back then, if you tore your UCL, you were pretty much done. Your career was over. But Tommy John changed all that with the revolutionary surgery. But even so, there wasn't a lot of pitchers, I feel like, that had their careers ending, because nowadays, it's like every pitcher, I don't know what percent it is, but it's got to be 80% of all Major League pitchers have had Tommy John. It feels like it at some point in their careers, whether it be in high school or college. I don't know. Some people think it's just because of all of the extra throwing. Some people think it's the increased velocity. These specialized programs have led to just pitchers throwing harder than ever. The average fastball nowadays, like, if you threw 95 back in, like, 1989, you were freaking just top 3, top 4 in the game. You're like Mike Scott, Nolan Ryan territory, fireballers like that. But now if you throw 95, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. 95, that's about average. You know, too bad you can't get up there 9900. There's 30 out of 100. The number 1 overall pick in the draft this year, Paul Skeens, he throws 99 to 102. And he's like 20, what is he, like 21, 22 years old, coming out of college. He's going to hop right into the Pirates rotation next year. And look what we have here. Go ahead and cue up the sad trombone, because this would have been a very nice pull a couple weeks ago. But now nobody cares, because Wander Franco cards are in the toilet. In terms of value, a Wander Franco autograph, this one's going to Daniel Streelman. So, Daniel, I don't know what to tell you there, man. Wander Franco, can you get $10 for this? What's a Wander Franco base auto go for now? 10? I don't even know, man. It's his rookie auto, too. A rookie auto of Wander Franco would have been at least 3 digits a couple weeks ago. But, of course, Wander Franco suspected of some inappropriate relations. And, it's not been proven yet, but he is just under investigation, 69 out of 100. But it seems like a lot of people are presuming the worst on him and his cards. A lot of people are just getting rid of him, and nobody wants to touch him. So there's no demand there for Wander Franco at all. When there's no demand, that's an 82 out of 100. We said this earlier. If there's no demand, the value of your card is going to go way down. Packwars 60, move me to Pristine for tomorrow. I paid the difference from R6 over to P. Packwars already did it. You're in there. You are in there. I'm pretty sure I did that. Did I? No, I didn't. I'll do that right now. There was somebody else I did that for. All right, you're in there now. White Sox Tom says, look at Trevor Bauer. Nobody wanted him either. David says, you're guilty until proven innocent in sports. That is seemingly the case a lot of times. The court of public opinion, you're always guilty until proven innocent, it seems like, unfortunately. But Trevor Bauer, look at him. When all the allegations about Trevor Bauer came out, his teammates, they all disowned him. They said, we don't want him in our clubhouse. I think even some of the players went to management and said, you don't bring him back. We're not going to play if you bring him back. And they all unfollowed him on Instagram and stuff like that. The Dodgers pulled down all his likenesses around the stadium. They pulled all of his merchandise from the ballpark store, and he basically just disappeared. And then it comes to pass that Trevor Bauer didn't even end up being charged with any crime. And from what he was being alleged with, it was pretty bad. And there's 2 sides to every story there, and now he's a fan favorite. He is absolutely beloved over in Japan, and he's, from what I understand, having a great season over there. There's a lot of teams that could have really used Trevor Bauer. There's Nina Slaughter for the Cardinals. Man, a lot of teams could have used him in their rotation for sure. And Trevor Bauer, he's a smart guy. He could have mentored staffs, the young guys, 2 of 6 out of 250. I don't know if he ever comes back to baseball, but we'll see. Maybe he will. Unfortunately, when he does come back, you know, your window of greatness when you're a Major League Baseball player, your prime, it's not all that long. So 120 out of 199. He still might have a couple years left, but I feel like Trevor Bauer's like, what is he, 33 now? He might still have a couple decent years. Clayton Kershaw is, what's he? His rookie year was 2007, so Clayton Kershaw is probably like 35. He's still going. Wouldn't that be something if Kershaw just pitches into his 40s? I would love that. Clayton Kershaw, maybe he'll get to 300 wins. You never know. Joseph says, Bauer's no victim. Let him stay in Japan. Yep. Hey, it's a very divisive topic, but it's fun to talk about for sure. Here's this next one. North Star Cards says, finally get to see a live stream. Welcome. Glad to have you aboard. Hope you're doing well. We're doing the Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary right now. And then we'll go ahead and jump on into some Bowman. Travis says, oh, he's a weirdo, but he didn't deserve what happened. Hobby House says, I'd love to see him with the Savannah Bananas. He probably would do that, actually. A lot of former players will come back. Guys like Johnny Damon did it, and who else did it? Jonathan Papelbon came back. The Savannah Bananas are like, if you haven't heard of them before, they're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. They have all these gimmicks and all these crazy stunts, and they wear these yellow uniforms that look like bananas, and they're based down there in Savannah, and they literally play a baseball game and do all these wacky things with dance moves and somersaults and players literally on stilts. We have a Jansen Junk, 87 of 99. There was a highlight the other day that I saw of a player in center field who literally caught a baseball while doing a backflip. I don't know how he did it. He was about to catch the ball, and then he just went into a backflip and he caught it. It was crazy. There's Max Muncy, 25 out of 199. I feel like a lot of those guys probably have a baseball background and a gymnastics background because some of the stunts they do are pretty crazy. That would be a fun video to do. Go down there and maybe film a video of all the mayhem down in Savannah. That's a 15 out of 100. They have another rule, which is pretty interesting. If you catch a foul ball on the fly, the batter is out. So literally, you're part of the game. I don't think you get credited in the box score with a put out, but wouldn't that be, that's got to be pretty cool. Like, you can catch a ball and get credited with the out. That's something else. So, needless to say that a lot more fans than typical bring their glove to the ballpark, the Savannah Bananas. Maybe one day Topps will make a Savannah Bananas baseball card set and put it in Allen and Ginter or something like that. I feel like Allen and Ginter would be a nice landing spot for that, as they like to put weirdo cards in there, like rainbows and waterfalls and buildings and sandwiches. So why not put in the Savannah Bananas? I don't know. You can maybe like focus on former players like Papelbon and Johnny Damon. Someone mentioned Bill Lee. I wouldn't be surprised if Jose Canseco has played for them, 54 out of 75, but go ahead and put their likeness on a card. That'd be kind of cool. People would actually like that. Think of pulling a John Papelbon Savannah Bananas auto with him wearing a yellow, what's he wear, like a little kilt or something? There's Kervin Castro, numbered to 99. I think people would like that insert set more than freaking birds and waterfalls. There's Brandon Lau out of 75. I mean, I understand they're trying to kind of cross over and get other people to buy the product, people that might like music, and they have like musicians in there. I get that. But like sandwiches, that's weird. Like, what's a meatball hoagie card worth? 234 out of 250, nothing. And I don't think, I mean, even people that love meatball hoagies aren't going to go and pay $5 a pack to try and find a meatball hoagie card when they could just go and buy a meatball hoagie at Subway. 6-inch meatball hoagie for $5 and just eat that and be perfectly happy. One more box, and then we're moving into Bowman on this Team Break Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow for some exciting stuff. with Cosmic Chrome and also Pristine. Those cases aren't in yet, but they should be available tomorrow. And then we'll rip those open and see what we can find. Also, maybe we'll get some Chrome going and get some Chrome breaks in tomorrow as well. This is the last box of Platinum Anniversary before we move into the Bowman round. It'll be a Bowman Jumbo box, a Bowman Hobby box, and a slew of 5 blaster boxes of Bowman, it looks like. James says, I know a good meatball here is $9 here in Florida. I actually used to eat at Subway every single day during the school year. And then just this year, I'm like, why am I doing that? I went to Subway last week and I got my sub. I always get a foot-long sub because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'4.5" and 240 some pounds, and I like foot-long sub. I like to feel full after I eat and not eat and then still be hungry. So I got a foot-long sub, turkey and ham. I got a bag of chips, Doritos, 14 out of 25 on the Sean Murphy. They're good. And then I got like a drink of Diet Coke. Hey, Tony Perez, Hall of Fame auto right there, $5.99. Tony Perez for the Cincinnati Reds. There's been some nice autos. That's at least the 3rd Hall of Fame auto that we found. That one goes to Jack Holland. Very nice for Jack. But it ended up being $17.59 for a meal, for freaking lunch. And I'm like, wow, what's that come out to in a year? So I multiplied it by 180 days of work, and it was like $3,000. I'm like, what am I doing? Why don't I just eat at school and pay like $4 and just eat what everyone else eats here? And that's what I'm starting to do now, $2.54 out of $2.99. I guess if I was super smart, I would just pack my own lunch and make a sandwich, make like a turkey sandwich, get some bags of Doritos, get a nice Prime, which I'm drinking tonight over here, the blue raspberry. Austin says, so after the breaks, do you go through each card and divide it into teams? That's a lot of work. That's exactly what I do. It takes me about a week. So from last week, we did a break on Tuesday. Just today, I finished up getting the rest of those sent out. So it's about a week turnaround time. It takes a while to sort them all out. And then after that, I have to organize them by name alphabetically. So like, for example, let's take like Jack Holland, for example, just pull that Tony Perez. I would go and I'd have to find all the other breaks that he had. Like maybe he's in break R5 here, but he might also be in like break C coming up. I'd have to go and find that. And then that way I sort them by name because then I can send them together. It's just, and then instead of sending like, I don't know, like say we do like 5 rounds, that's 150 packages if I did them all separately. But if I combine them, it might only be 100 packages or 80. Casey says, do you or the fam out there, do they do any sorting? Nope, sorting's all me. There's 92 out of 100. Yep, I just do it all. The kiddos will help out from time to time with putting Patreon packages together, but they didn't do it this month, so I did it all, 25 out of 50. Oh no, I don't. Doing it by names of the players would be just another. That would be another crazy. That would be crazy. That's crazy. There's no need for that. There's Spencer Strider. He leads the entire Major League Baseball in strikeouts. I'd love to see him get 300 Ks. I don't know if he's going to get there or not. I think he probably needs about 80 some more strikeouts. It is possible. He's probably going to get another 4 or 5 starts. But with a team like the Braves, as they kind of like wrap up their division, sometimes their top pitchers, they'll kind of pull back on them a little bit and save their arms for the playoffs. So I don't know if Strider's going to be pitching like 7-8 innings in games in September when the Braves already have it wrapped up. They'll send him out there. They'll let him throw like, I don't know, 60, 70 pitches. They want him to be fresh for the playoff run, and I don't blame them for that. All right, so that's it for Break R5. We're going to move into the Bowman round right now. So let's see what we can find in the Break C Bowman round. Let me go and grab all that, so just give me a second here. Pirates beat the Royals 6-3. I just got the notification. So there's Break C, and we'll move over here and take a look. We got to randomize all these spots, but first let me get the boxes laid out on the screen for you. I'm just double checking to make sure I get them all right. So we got a Bowman Jumbo box. We got a Bowman Hobby box. We got a Bowman Mega box. I probably would have forgot that one if I didn't double check. So go over to the inventory here. Here's the Mega. I'm down to only 2 Mega boxes left in my stash. Let's see here. Bowman. What's this? This is the Jumbo with 3 autographs in there. There should be a Bowman Hobby around here somewhere. Where's my Bowman Hobbies? Bowman Hobbies. There they are. They're way up on top. This is something I should probably organize by alphabetically, like have all the Bowman together. I just kind of like throw them, not throw them, but like set them anywhere on the shelf. Like, oh, there's an open spot. I'll put this case there. Brand new case of Bowman Hobby. 1 autograph in Bowman Hobby. And then the last boxes in this round are going to be 5 blasters of Bowman, which are right out here. We may end up opening more Bowman blasters. We could potentially do break B tonight. I think there's 10 spots left in it. That would be 20 total in that round. All right, we got all the boxes, so they're all set up here. Maybe we'll get the Chrome tonight, maybe not. Maybe tomorrow. Cubbies beat the Brewers, so the Brewers finally lose a game, huh? That's about time. What do they have, like a 9-game winning streak? Let's go to the randomizer and randomize this up, and then we'll open all these up, and we'll see what we can find in here. All right. Time to see. The Mix says, was this already discussed? Hey, Mix, Acuna got group hugged on the field. Yeah, it was brought up that we talked a little bit about that. How crazy is that? Like, why? We don't understand why somebody would do that. Those people, like we said earlier, will be banned for life, probably charged with misdemeanors and criminal trespassing and all that stuff. Craziness. I'm just glad that, you know, nobody was injured, as in, like, any good guys were injured. I would hate to... Wouldn't that be something if Ronald Acuna Jr., like, tried to run away from them or something and, like, tore his freaking ACL again? And then, like, he's lost for the season in his greatest ever season. Losing all hope of stealing 80 bases and hitting 40 home runs. Man, that would be awful. I don't even want to think about it. I was really mad when he was injured the first time down in Miami a couple years ago when he fell over on the warning track. But anyway, here's the teams. Ronald Acuna Jr. is one of my favorite players. We have, for the Arizona Diamondbacks, we got Nick LaPlambara starting things off. And then we've got Andrew McLaren. So Nick's got the Diamondbacks. Andrew's got the Atlanta Braves. Matt Simon has the Baltimore Orioles. And Michael has Boston. Joseph has the Chicago Cubs. Jeffrey has the Cincinnati Reds. Ron Roberts with the Cleveland Guardians. And then we've got Jeffrey Smith has the Colorado Rockies. Packers got the White Sox. George has the Tigers and the Houston Astros. Jason Sawyer with the Kansas City Royals. Robert Shaw has the Angels. Michael Prettyman has the Dodgers. Andrew McLaren has the Miami Marlins. PR has the Brew Crew. Drew Baker has the Minnesota Twins. Matt Simon with the New York Mets. Kevin Newman has the Yankees. Zach has the Oakland A's. Michael King with the Philadelphia Phillies. David McDonald has the Pittsburgh Pirates. Greg has the San Diego Padres. Evan has the Seattle Mariners. Jeffrey Smith with the San Francisco Giants. Keith will have the St. Louis Cardinals. Arthur has Tampa Bay. Matt Simon with Texas. Eric Franco has Toronto. And then Michael Prettyman has the Washington Nationals, last but not least. So let's go ahead and see what we can find. We'll start off, since it's right there in the middle, we'll do the Mega Box first. There'll be those 2 Mojo packs in there, and then the cold packs. Josiah thinks that Mookie Betts is going to steal the MVP from Acuna? Really? Vegas odds have Mookie on top now. No way. So, hey, we're talking all about Ronald Acuna Jr. Put aside his cards from Chrome. Hey, put aside Mookie Betts as well. So if you have like Mookie Betts refractors or anything like that, those could be big money. We will see. The Mix says, I bet you were not amused, but that freaking coaster had us laughing. Can you believe that John Wathan coaster? I couldn't believe it when I saw that. Smiling John Wathen. Yeah, that end event's like that was something else. That was pretty cool. I hope that he gets some business from that, because that's, you know, that's pretty good talent right there. Michael says at this point, Acuna steals could put him over Mookie, but who knows? Yeah, 61 steals. Mookie Betts doesn't steal a ton of bags. Betts has the edge in home runs. I think Ronald has the edge in batting average. It'll be close. We'll see what happens. It's going to come down to the month of September. Whoever has a better month of September. Now, Mookie Betts has had an insane month of August. He's been on fire, and is he going to continue to hit like that? You got to think he's going to cool off a little bit. You can't just hit it a 400 clip all month or whatever he's been doing. But Mookie Betts, some voters will look at those stats and say he's your MVP. If you look at his advanced stats, you know, you look at batting average, home runs, that's all good. But a lot of voters will look at OPS and OPS plus. Mookie Betts has an OPS of 1,011. Anytime you see it 1,000 or above, that's crazy good. Like, there's usually maybe one or two players that have that high of an OPS. Now, OPS is a statistics that it's really easy to figure out. It's on base percentage plus slugging percentage. So 1,011, that's crazy high. His career for OPS is 900, so he's over 100 points above his career average there. His OPS plus is 169, which is also crazy high. That means that Betts has been 69% better than a league average player. Ronald Acuna Jr., on the other hand, is a 164 OPS plus, meaning he's been 64% better, so not quite as good there. His OPS is 989, so it's close. He's not quite as good. He doesn't have the same slugging percentage, is a little lower. He's got a little less home runs. It'll be close. His WAR is also a little less. WAR is wins above replacement. It's 6.6. Mookie Betts has some crazy good value because Betts has really shown some versatility this year, playing wherever you need him. You need a shortstop, Mookie Betts, go play shortstop. Go play second base. Go play right field. Go play left field. So I could see Mookie Betts, if he wins the MVP, I won't be surprised. It's a really close race. Like, I don't even think I would be upset. I'm rooting for Ronald Acuna to win it because he's one of my favorite players. Mookie Betts, I've never been a huge Mookie Betts fan. He's like, he's a good player, but he's not one that I actively root for. But Ronald is one that, I don't know, ever since 2018, and him being one of the top rookies, I've been a big fan of him and followed his career, and always rooted for the guy. Chris thinks that it's Betts for MVP right now. We'll see. I think but Shohei's still a slam dunk in the American League. Even if Ohtani just never played another game the rest of the year, he'd still win the MVP because he's one of the top pitchers in the American League. He's like a top 5 in earned run average in the American League right now or so. He won't be on that list when the season ends because to be a qualifier for the earned run average leaderboard, you have to average 1 inning pitched per team game. Right now he has it, but he'll eventually fall under that threshold. So at the end of the season, you'll need 162 innings pitched to qualify for the earned run average crown. American League Rookie of the Year will be interesting, says Seaball as well. Yeah, Josh Young, he's probably, he was probably the favorite, and then he went out and had to go get freaking hurt. So I don't know. Trey says Mookie should have been a Padre. So, yeah, the Dodgers took him. And how long is he locked up for, Betts? I think he's got a nice long contract now. Padres just, they've committed the money. They just have not been able to make it work. They went out and gave a big-time contract to Eric Hosmer, which ended up being terrible. Will Myers' contract was another terrible contract as well. There's $278 to $499. That's a bunch of wasted money right there. Now, the Juan Soto deal, in retrospect, even though it hasn't really worked out, they haven't won with Juan Soto. That's not a bad deal. I mean, Juan Soto, one of the best players in the game. He was 23 years old when they got him. I can't argue with that. They gave up the farm for him, though. They gave up a lot of their top prospects. James Woods and Mackenzie Gore and C.J. Abrams and Robert Hassel. Some of those guys might be big-time stars one day. I think James Wood is doing pretty well in the minors. I think Robert Hassel's not. C.J. Abrams has kind of held his own in the big leagues. Harper hit number 299 tonight, really. So we got a race. Andrew McCutchen versus Bryce Harper. That's going to be interesting. That'd be cool if they could do it in the same game. They're both at 299 career home runs. I don't think they play each other soon, but that would be amazing. Who's going to get to 300 first? Now, Cutch got a head start. He started in baseball a couple years before Harper, I think maybe by a year or two. But, man, that's some pretty good consistency, those two. We've got a Jace Bowen for the Pirates out of 300. Bryce Harper's on a Hall of Fame track, I think. I know people call him a baby or call him overrated. I can't say that I can't call him overrated. I think he's a... I wouldn't say he's a Hall of Famer right now. Like, yeah, Bryce Harper's a Hall of Famer. You can't say that about him. You can say he's on the track to be a Hall of Famer. Is Break E sold out? Nope, it's not. Plenty of spots left in Break E. There's Drew Jones. There's only a couple players you can say that's a Hall of Famer. That would be Miguel Cabrera. He's a Hall of Famer, which means if his career ended right now, he'd be in the Hall of Fame. Clayton Kershaw, he's a Hall of Famer. Mike Trout, he's a Hall of Famer. I'm trying to think of other guys that I could say that about that are still playing. Joey Votto is close, but probably not quite yet. Other guys, Justin Verlander, that's a Hall of Famer. Yep. Max Scherzer, I'll tell you what. Max Scherzer, I think he's a Hall of Famer. His stats are pretty similar to some of these other big guys. Freddie Freeman, I'd still say he's on the track. Which is to say, if Freddie Freeman just has average Freddie Freeman seasons for another 5-6 years or so, yeah, he'll be in there. Zach Greinke is an interesting case. Zach Greinke, I always had an inclination that he would be a Hall of Famer just because of his stats are similar to other guys like Mike Mussina and Jack Morris and stuff like that. He has 224 wins. Career WAR is 76. That's high. That's pretty high. I mean, there's Hall of Famers that get in there with like a 50, 60, 349 career ERA, 117 whip. You got to compare that to Mike Mussina, who was kind of considered a borderline Hall of Famer when he got in. And Zach Greinke is just short of Mike Mussina's WAR. Mussina had an 82 WAR. Mussina's whip, which is walks plus hits divided by innings pitched, was 1.19. Zach Greinke's is 1.17. So Greinke's got him beat there, and he also hasn't beaten earned run average. His career ERA is 3.49. Now, wins don't really matter as much anymore. Zach Greinke's 1-13 this year, which is awful. 224 wins. I think Greinke probably does get in. Not going to be a first ballot. He might be a guy like Larry Walker, Scott Rowland, those guys that take like 8 to 10 years to get in. Altuve is close. He is dangerously close. I don't think he's in yet just because of the whole Astros cheating gate, even though most reports have said he had nothing to do with cheating from what I've heard. There's a lot of people, probably a lot of voters out there, be like, that guy's a cheater. I'm not voting for him. Because some voters just go on feel, and you can have all the stats in the world. We've seen it time and time again. All these guys that have had fantastic career stats, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Rafael Palmeiro, there's JD Martinez out of 499. But they did not feel like a Hall of Famer to the voters, or certain voters, because of the whole steroid thing. So they just gave them the heebie-jeebies, I guess, and they won't vote for him. And that's going to be the same thing with Altuve. Like, I don't know if he cheated or not, so I can't vote for him in good faith because he might have cheated. There's going to be voters out there that are like that. Now, maybe if Altuve can go on to 3,000 hits, he'll sneak in there. Maybe he'll get the Roberto Alomar treatment. Roberto Alomar, you might remember him. He had the stats to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Fantastic player. But he spit in the face of an umpire. He literally hawked up a giant wad of mucus. You actually saw him do it. and then he just spit it right into the face of John Hirschbeck. And it was just a grisly, awful moment. And there was a lot of voters that did not vote for him on his first ballot, just as punishment for that. They kept him out. And then the next year, after, sitting at whatever percent of the vote, they were like, all right, you served your time. Kind of like giving him a detention, I guess. Sports man Jack says that's why the Hall of Fame voting is a joke. Yeah, some of these guys have agendas. By the way, how about Jason Dominguez? Let's do a little checkup on Jason Dominguez, because Jason Dominguez is knocking on the door of the major leagues. He's at AAA right now. Now, the minor league season is ending in a week or so. It usually ends around September 1st, most years. At AAA right now, Jason Dominguez is hitting. Are you ready for this, folks? Drum roll. He's hitting .478. He is killing it. Could he be in line for a call-up? If he's that hot in another week, that's 1 week of play, hitting .478. That's 27 plate appearances. He raised his average from 205 over the span of about a month to 254 in AA. He's hitting like 400 or so in the minors, and the Yankees are like, all right, let's go ahead and try out AAA, buddy. They brought him up, and he's continued his torrid streak. .478. So he's found confidence. Maybe that's all he needed, was confidence. With Jason Dominguez, everybody compared him to Mike Trout. They said, that's the next Mike Trout. He's the next big thing. He's going to be the next. Like, they're basically anointing him a Hall of Famer, and he's like 17 years old. A lot of pressure right there. And maybe that pressure was just a little too much, and he was just maybe over trying to do too much. And maybe he has finally figured something out. Maybe he's become comfortable. And maybe he has finally arrived. So for all those Jason Dominguez mega collectors out there that we all made fun of for spending all of your bankroll on Jason Dominguez cards, and you guys were just so depressed a few months ago, maybe you will have the last laugh. Now, I don't think Dominguez is going to be a Hall of Famer or anything like that. You can't say that about a 20-year-old kid. But it does look like he is on the doorstep, and he is knocking at that door. And I feel like the Yankees, if he continues to rake in AAA, I think they're going to answer the call and say, all right, Dominguez, come on up. Show us what you can do, especially if there's like another injury. Like Giancarlo Stanton's just literally a piece of glass just waiting to break. So once Stanton gets hurt again, maybe that'll open the door for Dominguez to come in. Oh, no, Judge has been hurt too, so maybe he'll get hurt again. There he is. But they're probably not going to bring him up and not play him every day. Somebody like that, you want him to have playing time. You don't want him to bring him up after he's hitting 400 for last month and just sit on the bench and get one at bat a night, maybe. So we'll see. Dominguez, I hope he gets called up soon. I would project him, if he is going to be called up soon, to be called up around the first. Unless his team, Scranton Wilkes-Barre, is in the playoffs, then he might play out the string of playoff games there and be up after that. But I think Dominguez has a very good shot of making his Major League debut. There's Drew Jones. And if he does make his Major League debut in September, guess what? Go ahead and mark him down for 2024 tops. He'll be in there. Now, I think that they might hold him back, maybe, until Series 2, because if they do that, let's say Dominguez is called up at the end of the season this year. They've already got Elly De La Cruz penciled in as like the big name for Series 1. And there's going to be a lot of people, especially if the Reds make the playoffs and Elly De La Cruz has a fantastic series or two. Elly De La Cruz mania will be in full effect for 2024 Series 1. And if Dominguez comes up, I feel like Pops would hold him back to Series 2. Because it's just business. You got to be smart about that. You don't want to put out a checklist with nobody in it. Like, who wants to... Like, we've had some rough Series 2 recently. 2021 Topps Series 2 was rough. Think about it. Who'd you have in there? Alex Kirilloff? Ke'Bryan Hayes? What are their rookie cards worth? Their base rookie cards are probably in quarter boxes, and those were two of the best guys. I'm trying to think even who else would be in that. 2020 tops, you have Luis Robert in there, and that is it. There's really nobody else in 2020 Top Series 2. In Top Series 2 from last year, you had O'Neal Cruz, who was a nice one, and Spencer Strider. Those are the top two. Those are some nice players. The nice thing about Series 2 last year was you have J-Rod Short Prince to go after. Jordan Alvarez was in Series 1 of 2020. Yep. 2020 Top Series 1 had some good rookies. Jordan Alvarez, Bo Bichette was in there as well. But I just remember looking at that checklist for 2020 Series 2 and being like, there's nobody in there. There's like Yu Chang, James Karinchak. It was a pretty desolate checklist of rookies. And Luis Robert was a nice holdback because he was a big star at that time. White Sox Tom says Cruz is done for the year. I saw that. They said his... there's Zach Neto out of 150. Nice blue ray wave. They said that his recovery had plateaued, meaning he was getting better. He probably got to like 60, 70% and just could not improve anymore. So they shut him down. O'Neal Cruz played all of just a few games in the big leagues this year until April 10th. There's Luis Garcia out of 499. Then an awkward slide in home plate, fractured his ankle, and then that was it. We lost our best player on the Pirates, Drew Jones, and also a lot of us were hyped up for a potential 40-40 season from him. And look at this, Michael Harris out of 50. Michael Harris he's been a great player this year, really good comeback player. Now, you can't win the comeback player of the year for just one season. Like, you can't like be awful for the first couple months and then be great and win comeback player of the year. It's typically players that were terrible last year and then came back to have a great season this year. But Michael Harris, it's been a tale of two seasons for him. He was terrible the first couple months, and he was dealing with a back injury, though, which really hampered him. And then ever since, like, I don't know, mid-May or so, late May, he's really turned it on. Now he's up to 285, 12 home runs. His WAR is still, it's pretty good, 2.5. Not quite like last year, not quite as good as last year. He had a much better season last year. But from where he started, he has really recovered. Let's see if I can take a look at his splits here. 2023 splits and see how he all played out. So, yeah, poor guy. He hit 200 in April. Talking about Michael Harris. And so, remember, Michael Harris, there's a lot of debate. Is he the number one rookie? There's a lot of people out there. 22% of you, actually. We had a vote for this. 22% of you said Michael Harris was the best rookie in Series 1. More than Adley Rutschman, more than Gunnar Henderson. Those were the choices. It ended up being roughly Adley Rutschman, like low 50%, and then Gunnar Henderson was around like 21%. Michael Harris was around 22%. But Michael Harris, all that hype, started off, he hit 200 in April, and then he followed that up in May with a 167 average. So he was pulling around an average in the 100s through the first like 50 games of the season or so. And he was also in the injured list for a little bit. And then come June, flipped the switch, got healthy. He hit 372 in the month of June and then has not looked back since. In July, he hit 290. And in August, he hit 320. And so Michael Harris, he's back. And I would expect him to continue playing at, a high level. And who knows, by the end of the season, he may get that average right around 300 again. And his card prices have recovered some of their value that they lost. Santander is the one who's really raking right now, says Seaball. Gunnar Henderson, by the way, was another guy that started really slowly. Here comes an auto. Hey, this is a good one. Cam Collier, considered by most to be, I think, coming into this season. Anytime Bowman comes out, we make lists and we say, these are the top prospects. Topps really hyped up Cam Collier. They even put him on the box, like, look for Cam Collier. And probably most people had him like top 3 in the Bowman checklist. A lot of people had Drew Jones #1, maybe Justin Crawford #2. I think Junior Caminero was a top 10 guy, but now Caminero's like number 1 or 2. But Cam Collier, he's only 18. Just looking at the stats right now, giving you a checkup on him. He's kind of just subpar this year. Now, he is only 18, which is still young. He's an A-ball. He's hitting .247, which is not fantastic. It's a little below average, but he is just 18 years old. He signed when he was 17. Got started last year. Doesn't really offer much else on the base pass. Only 4 stolen bases this year. Strikes out, pretty good clip. 93 strikeouts and 353 at-bats. I don't know. Just never know about some of these prospects. We'll see how it goes for him. Now, there's Gunnar Henderson. There's Drew Jones. The O's are calling up Holiday, says Sportsman Jack. Well, Holiday's been absolutely raking. So the thing about him, he's so young. And do they really need him right now the way the O's are going? I feel like, man, I don't know. He's only at Double-A, but he's raking at Double-A. So could he skip a whole level, skip Triple-A and get straight to the big leagues? Now, you might say, do they need him? Well, yeah, if he's hitting 300 of the big leagues with power, yeah, they could use him. And you have seen teams dip into the minors before in September, call him up, and, get them on their postseason roster. Now, there's a date. They have to be up by a certain date to be on the postseason roster. I can't remember if it's like September 1st or August 31st or something like that. But you can't bring a player up like the last game of the season then expect them to be on your postseason roster. There are rules against that to prevent against that. So if he is brought up, I feel like they would bring him up to use him in October. I don't know. We'll see. So if they bring him up, it should be soon. But he is only 19 years old. They might just be like, hey, we're leading the division. We're good. We'd love to have you, but we're so happy with what you've done. We don't want to bring you up to face this elite pitching, then maybe suffer a little bit of a setback. Maybe he comes up and he hits like 125. If I had to guess, I would say he stays in the minors for the rest of this year and starts the season with the big league team next year. That's out of 50. Masataka Yoshida, great one right there. And then William Lugo, this one is going to be the auto out of 150 for the New York Mets. It's a team color match. So the Mets with the autograph, that one's going to go to Matt Seidman. But yeah, I think if I was the GM, I would start next year with Holiday. You could use him in the postseason, but you're not desperate. You have such a great deep roster. You got a lot of talent there. You got guys like Colton Cowser up there now and everything. Got all these young stars. You don't necessarily have a gaping hole where you have to have him up there. I would hold off. Let him go into the offseason just feeling like, man, I am just the best. I'm just the best. I'm like the #1 prospect. I was the #1 draft pick. I absolutely killed it in Double-A. I'm ready. I am ready to go. And then have spring training. Hopefully he does, as expected, and then start the season with him. And if that happens, guess what? You'll see him in Series 2 more than likely. That'd be pretty nice. Dominguez and Jackson Holiday rookies in Series 2. Maybe they'll put, we'll see. There's an Emburis Tavares out of 499. There's good old Wander on the top right there. Jordan Lawler, a nice prospect from that 2021 draft class. And Anthony Gutierrez there is the last one. We've got about 4 packs left. That might be it for tonight. It's 11:22. I'll take a look at some payments here and see if Break B is getting any closer to going. If not, we'll just come back and do it tomorrow with Pristine and Cosmic Chrome. Got 4 packs left. Let's take a look at this sheet. Trey says Ethan Salas will be in the majors at 18 next year. I'll bet money on it. Really? That's a pretty good ascension right there. Anytime you're in the big leagues that young, you gotta be a special talent. You can think of guys that were that young in the big leagues recently. You had guys like Ronald Acuna Jr. did it. Juan Soto did it. Those guys broke in there around 18. Vladdy got in the big leagues, I think, at 19 or so. So let's see what we have here. So let me see. Todd Berry wants to be in L3. I got that one. Chris Balestrini wants to be in break P. So Chris, I'll take care of that for you. That is done. Pack Wars is grabbing a spot in break B. So put Pack Wars right there. We got that one. And Josh Velli wants one in spot B. So break B is now down to 8 spots left. So unless it sells 8 spots quickly, it'll go tomorrow. We'll see what happens over the next 2 minutes of this break. Here we go with this next one. Garrett Mitchell starts things off. Kumar Rocker. Maybe we'll start a little earlier tomorrow. I won't have the kiddos tomorrow, so I'll be able to not have to worry about putting them to bed like we do on most of these break nights. Out of 125, Luis Angel Acuna, who's now with the Mets from the Max Scherzer deal. Ross says Blaze Jordan is still a top prospect. Blaze Jordan once the cream of the crop of 2021 Bowman, and guess what? He's actually still the cream of the crop. Blaze Jordan has been pretty darn good in the minor leagues this year, as I remember. I haven't checked on his stats in a while, but he's been as advertised. Blaze Jordan first came to fame in a home run derby, I think down there at Tropicana Field when he was like 14 years old, just hitting absolute bombs. He was at single A ball this year, and he tore it up. He hit 324, the 918 OPS, lots of power. So they promoted him to double A. Sometimes that can be a big jump for some players going from single A to double A, especially at the age of 20, which is how old Blaze Jordan is. There's Yordani De Los Santos, team color match out of 75. Now, he hasn't been great in double A, but he's been okay. He has a 252 average, which I would call that pretty average. It's nothing crazy. His slugging percentage is just average at best. It's 422. Overall 724 OPS. That's just okay. So I think next year he'll probably start at double A again. He's not really tearing it up anymore. He's going to need to make some adjustments. But he's still just 20 years old at double A. That's still young for double A. The average age of a double A player is about 23 or 24. So I think he'll be all right. We've got one final pack here. I think this is the last one of this evening. We'll come back tomorrow, and we will do a pristine break, which is break P. We'll do the Bowman Blasters, and hopefully pick up a couple spots there and do those. And we'll also, I'm going to add some Cosmic Chrome to tomorrow's break. I'll add one round there. I don't know how many cases. I ordered, I think, 3 or 4 cases, and I think they're coming in separate shipments from different places. So I don't know if I'm going to have like 1 case tomorrow or 2. I might have to just wait and see. I'll put one of them on sale, 1 round on sale, and then if that sells out and I can pick up another case, a second round. But we'll have a new release preview video for you tomorrow, and here's our last autograph of this evening, and it is going to be a good one. Junior Caminero, who is, in a lot of people's minds, he is the #1 rookie or the #1 first Bowman to go after now in this product. As you know, Drew Jones started the season as the #1 guy, Andrew Jones' son, and he's just been beat up all season long. And Ramiro Perez just signed up as a new channel member. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. Welcome aboard. Check us out in our auction. Can't even talk right now, but check us out in our auction. It'll be coming up on Thursday. We may have a whole bunch of consignments to do, and you'll get a free hobby pack with any win you have in that. Junior Caminero, by the way, in case you're wondering just how great he's been this year, he's only 19 years old. He hit 356 in A-ball, high A-ball, and the Rays were like, all right. He also had almost 1,100 OPS. They moved him up to double A. They said, try double A. He's like, yeah, this is all right. He's hitting 311 in double A with 13 home runs in 65 games. So he might be the next big thing. So your Junior Camineros from Bowman, hang on to those. He probably the #1 guy in Bowman, because those stats are no joke. He's done it at A-ball, he's done it at AA, and probably next year he'll start at AAA and maybe be in the big leagues before you know it. So that's all we have for you tonight. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll do breaks B, break P for pristine. Maybe we'll also get some chrome going and find some taco fractors. Finally, I'll just take one taco fractor. I just want to pull one. I just want to be able to say that I pulled a taco fractor. I've opened so many cases of it and have not successfully pulled one yet. It'd be nice to find one. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday night, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new release video, and those pre-sales will be listed on Patreon tomorrow. Just keep an eye out for those. I'll probably get those listed. I'll probably do 2 boxes, because usually I like the preview videos to be no more than 20 minutes, and I feel like 2 boxes is a good amount. Probably put 2 boxes for sale on Patreon tomorrow, and then the rest we'll put into team breaks. So that's all we have for tonight. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.